Namaste, heroes and Aries Risings, and welcome to Soul Horoscope SuperScope Weekly Report. My name is Christopher Witecki. I call myself the Sensei to Sirius Joy. I'm here to help people step into their personal power, and my little buzz term for enlightenment is Sirius Joy. I feel we all have a serious side, and if we just focus on joy, I think everything will work out. But it's not that easy, is it? Happy birthday to you, by the way. This is my last little happy birthday to you. This scope, the sun will be moving into Taurus. I do have some good news for you. And if you don't know, this is a super scope for this reason. It serves many different personalities. It serves for one, the Arieses and the Aries Rising. So Aries, Aries Rising. Or if you have Venus in Aries, I'll have a love scope for you here at the end. And of course, what I call the step nines. And what I practice is step astrology. Now, for y'all, you've just coming out of a big birthday period. You've been shifting into a new ego. Watch last week's Super Scope, but I go into detail about how this is a profound new you. In fact, you might watch a couple weeks back if you're just finding us. And now with this new you, this new character based on 4 other points, which we'll go into, it's time to go out and raise your soul capital, or what I call raise your prices. So as we start off the week, you are wrapping up chapter 3 of the sun in the first house in classic astrology. This is your identity, and you'll be tested on your identity and this new identity you set forth with at the end of the week. Keep in mind, Mars, your home planet, is retrograde, which means all of your strength is inward. Nothing outward is going to inspire you. You have to go in, you have to find the strength, you have to dig deeper. That's what a retrograde is. And you'll be digging very deep to stay true to your identity this week. Then the sun moves into Taurus, and this begins a 30-day raise your prices transit. It begins with values and self-esteem, and I'm very happy to announce the universe is going to give you a solar eclipse in the late stages of self-esteem. So you're going to feel very confident for even what you didn't earn at the end of the month. That's a good thing. Now, this is your ability to produce. This turns in your ability to be abundant, which is the buzz term for money in spirituality. And this is your overall ability to do magic. So if you've been looking to start a project, find a new job, make more money, etc., this is the transit with the sun moving in Taurus to do it. And I'll explain why a little bit later, why this is really, it's time for you to get there. But before we do, let's review this, the Grand Cross, which this week will have a breakthrough, I argue. Now, this is a tug of war between Uranus and Mars. In this case for you, this is your ego, the new ego being born, and Mars retrograde are the old relationships dying. The ones tied to the old ego have to go, and you are finding where to relate to yourself. Jupiter on the South Pole is expanding your emotional security, and that moves to new heights this week. And Pluto retrograde at the top is giving you a break at the reconstruction of your career and legacy. And last week, we had a lunar eclipse, which might have knocked the wind out of you or out of some relationships. And in this week, we're going to be moving forward from there. So as we start on Sunday, we're in the final degree, or the final tested degree, of the sun in Aries. So this weekend leading up to it, you will be tested on your personal ego and tested to the limits. Then by Sunday night, early Monday, we move to 0-degree Taurus. And your test might even be philosophical or career. You might be right going into money. In other words, where to test this new ego? Probably with the challenges of money. That's what I'm saying. Good place where it starts. On Monday, you're trying to feel, is everything okay? Am I all right? Can I make the money I need? So I believe it goes straight into money really quickly. But remember, because of that Grand Cross, we're not moving too far. However, I do believe that between Tuesday and between Thursday, there's going to be some sort of cosmic shift. And the cosmic shift will be from you systematically relaxing in several areas. In fact, I've made a little animation to show you what I mean. Here we are out in space. Now, what's going to happen is Uranus, Mars, Pluto, and Jupiter will all hit the magic 13 degree. And Uranus is direct and Jupiter is direct. Pluto's retrograde and Mars is retrograde. And what this does is create this weird vortex spot at Leo, in my opinion, 13 degrees. Now, what makes it really interesting is on Tuesday, the moon will move into Aquarius. This puts emotional focus on your social life. And at 10:30 p.m., it will directly oppose this weird spot. Now, I believe with the grand trine in water going around at the same time, this is going to actually open up an emotional imprint for what you feel you deserve. And later this week or next week, we have a solar eclipse at 29 degrees, which I think will put the sealing case on that. So that is the dynamic math of how I kind of figure stuff out. I know, I was just inviting you into my head there. Animation has to do it. But the magic 13 is suddenly finding a way out, okay, of those 4 points, a way out of the old ego, a way out of the old relationships, a way out of feeling different, and a way out of your career situation. And what I predict is you will find a way out of all of those somewhere between Tuesday and Thursday. Now on Thursday, Uranus rules the day, so there will be breakdown, in other words, some sort of quantum breakdown. And this breakdown might be something the last piece, the last mile, the last effort in that case. Now, because this is a transit in soul capital and your ability to manifest money, this could be some old job breaking down. It could be, and in that case, the old job breaking down would be one tied to the old ego or one tied to the old career point. So we're still, things you were holding on to in one of those 4 points, emotionally, marriage, ego, or career, the last point breaks down. Now you're feeling emotionally social when this final breakdown happens, somewhere between Thursday and Friday. So it might be egg on your face that triggers it. In fact, on Friday, it's Love Fest Day, the most powerful day of the month to love and give and exchange love, and it's a healing day. And for you, it will be at step 20 in higher spirituality. So on Friday, you will be feeling some sort of healing, as if God doesn't hate me, I feel good, which leads to the idea that whatever goes, you'll be grateful for, or whatever shift you make, you'll be grateful for, and you'll be on your way to the solar eclipse next week, which is going to put a seal on the deal. Now, basically, this whole week is about a test of strength with the ego, the birthday ego, and that's tested to the final degree. And then you discover your spiritual poverty. In other words, where is your self-esteem broken, tied to maybe one of those 4 points? And then when that quantum door opens, it's a new you coming forward, and a you that has the potential to earn and manifest much more. That's my argument. All right, so let's see here. I'm trying to figure out my button. So now let's talk about love, shall we? Talking about love, the 9 VQs, those who have Venus in Aries, excuse me, so much in my head. Would you believe there's no script for this? It comes out of my head. But there are times when there's like a backup or a block up in the stream. So for the 9 VQs, those who love like Aries, those who love somewhat aggressively, you will go through a spiritual healing as well. You most likely had to let go of some sort of unrealistic love with the lunar eclipse last week. And then after letting go of that unrealistic love, you set tone for a love that you want. And really, this is the spiritual healing on Love Fest on Friday night, Saturday morning, where you inside will begin to be healed over the karmic patterns of your love, and that will allow you to be free to look at this lifetime fresh and anew. This might also be where you are going to the next stage in a karmic love, because we're at 20 degrees, which means you have to work through the passion. So you might still be tied to karmic love, or you might be freeing yourself for karmic love, but Love Fest Day will be a healing where the icky part of the karma or the old memories or of the issues will begin to heal and dissolve. So that is my prediction for the 9 VQs. Now, folks, the Megascope Monthly will go in deep and talk about the new solar eclipse coming up later next week. This will be in Taurus, and the solar eclipse will lead from self-esteem to soul capital. If you have one and you have a Megascope, I recommend you watch it now, really, so you kind of put in your consciousness. If you don't have a Megascope, I recommend you buy one and watch it now. They're well worth the money, and they will help you extra get ahead. Also, GA Venus, I am really changing this network for women. You will get 5 to 7 text messages a day, and now I'm emailing personal videos that are based on your chart. Now, right now, this beta version is only for women, but if you're a lady and you would like for me to soul coach you in the moment, this is Readings in the Moment, where I'm moving my reading business to. Come on down to GAvenus.com. The first week is free and well worth a try. And lastly, I say if you're watching on YouTube, please subscribe to our network. That tells us if we're growing or we're shrinking. And if you'd like to see us on Facebook, come to soulgarden.me and like our Facebook page. And lastly, if you want to get the zodiac weather and your horoscopes emailed to you, come to soulmart.me and join our mailing list at the end of the page. All right, my Rams. Wow, so much exciting stuff. New ego moving forward, soul capital coming, and after that, we've got abundance. I'll have more on that next week, but Jupiter is heading for Leo, and that's only good news for you if you do the soul work. Have a great week. I love you, and live, love, be.
Soul Garden.